going to talk about the Trekpeak 2. The tent is made by a German manufacturer. It's got a German website, internet address. You don't see many reviews, certainly perhaps not in English, maybe if you searched in German, but I've tried doing some internet searches for Everest 1953, that's the name of the company. This is one of possibly 4 tents that they do, different styles. I put the inner up just to show you around the inner before I put the outer on, and then I'll run through some specs with you. So you can see it behind me now. It's a geodesic design, so it's basically a self-standing tent that purportedly can take quite a bit of wind. Not that I'm keen to try it out, but I'll just show you around the inner tent now, and then I'll put the fly sheet on and we can see what the fly sheet is like on the tent. Come on. Right, here's the inside of the tent. It's got a vestibule at each end and a door at each end, and there's an insect net attached to each door. So you can see in the corner over there are 2 zips, and the same this end, and the door I've just folded down. There's some pockets. There's 2 pockets there, and there's 2 pockets by here. You've got a mesh material in the 4 corners, and the rest of it then is breathable polyester. Even up on the roof there's each side there's like insect netting. No, like I've said before, this is no more than a 3-season tent. Although it has the attributes of a 4-season tent, it's not. It's a 3-season tent. So let's look around the outside of the tent. It's quite simple to erect. It's got 4 poles, 2 green and 2 silver. And then there's 1, 2, 3, there's 4 tent pegs either side. I'm walking on loads of dry leaves, so excuse any noise. So as you can see here, they come up quite high, maybe 4 or 5 inches. So I'll bring you back in a minute when I've got the fly on. Hi there, welcome back. As you can see, I've got the fly sheet on now. So I'll show you around the fly sheet and some of the attributes that I discussed earlier. The fly sheet has got 5 attachment points on the inside. Not that they do a great deal, but on the bottom of the fly sheet then and the inner tent there are plastic clip buckles. So you attach a fly sheet to that, and that's where all your security lies. There are 8 of them. In addition then to pegs and pegs for the guidelines as well. So you know the fly sheet is it's quite secure then. So I'll just show you the zipping system on this, because it's not bad. Okay, as you can see, we've got 2 flaps, storm flaps, right? But I'm just a little bit disappointed that there's no Velcro up the top, and it's the same on the back. There's just 2 pieces of Velcro, one at the bottom and one in the middle. However, the zip's underneath this, so it's basically double protected. And unlike other tents where this will all be like material, the material has been sewn on the inside of this fly to leave the minimum amount of water you know, absorbed through into the inside of the tent. But I've not had it out in sort of any windy, wet weather, so I can't really say how these would hold up. I've got the tent facing southwest or south-southwest because the weather forecast is that the wind is gonna blow from the south-southwest. So, as I talked about earlier, you've got 4 lots of netting on each corner. So these are your vent areas. It's the old-fashioned sort of just hold it up, bit of rigidity. Not so easy doing it with one hand. So you've got 2 guy lines either side. Now I changed the original guy lines that were on there because I wanted, I think they were a light colour, so I put on 3mm black paracord and some new cleats. So I'm using MSR, let me get it out, MSR, I think they're somewhere between 9 and 11 inch twisty pegs. I think it was £27 for 4. And then you've got all your fixing points then. So for the fixing point, I'm using Robbins 6-inch Y-shaped pegs. Now, the dome shape apparently is to stop snow forming on the top of the tent or building up on the top of the tent, and for it just to slide off. So you know, you can roll the door up and hook it up there. Same on this one, same with the zips, but there's no velcro at the top, which is, I don't know, strange. It's also got these skirts on it as well. Now I suppose they can be used with sandbags just to give it an extra weight down, or just extra bit of security, or they're to stop snow or rain blowing in, or you can have them out, I suppose, and the snow will sit on them. I'm not sure, the instructions don't exactly explain a lot. Now the tent is pitched on a bit of a slope, as you can see, because trying to find somewhere flat in Wales is just, well, difficult at best. Wales has got lots of hills and mountains, so but I'm going to be sleeping with my head up the top and my feet at the bottom rather than the other way around. So let me unzip this. So there we are. So it's nice and cozy in there, and get these doors up now and get a nice breeze blowing through there. So yeah, these tents they retail £250. You can get them on Amazon and a few other places. They do come with a purpose size ground sheet, which I haven't purchased. I've got a tarp under this, and the front bit then is a footprint for a jack wolfskin tent, which I used last week Can't remember the name of it. I think it's Exo Light 2. So yeah, it's not a bad little tent, but it's not a Four Season. Even though it comes quite low to the ground, you know, it doesn't quite come low enough, but the you've got a bathtub effect on the ground sheet on the inside, which may compensate. It's quite a high sides to the ground sheet. Right, so I'll go through the specs on this tent. It's made by a company, as I've already mentioned, called Everest 1953, a German company. It's called a Trekpeak 2. According to the website, it weighs 3.5 kilograms. The height in the centre of the tent, which has, by the way, incidentally, it has a little hook, which I'll show you a bit later, so you can hang a little lantern or something on there. And if you look up there on the ceiling of the tent, there's a little hook. So I've got my lantern up there. So that's 127 centimetres. The lying surface is 210 by 130. So it's technically a two-person tent, but you know, you've got to be cozy with somebody to get that close. There's two vestibules and they're 60 centimeters each. The fly sheet is a silicone coated nylon, and it purported to have a hydrostatic head of 10,000 millimeters, and the ground sheet is nylon again, and that is also 10,000 millimeters hydrostatic head. The inner tent, as I've already mentioned, is a breathable polyester. So I hope you get something out of this review. It's not the most expensive tent in the world. I have done a sub-zero camp in it and I had no issues with it. I've not used it in high winds or extremely adverse weather conditions yet. But what I intend to do today, I'm going to erect a tarp to the front of this now for extra protection from the sun, some shade, some additional shade should I wish not to be seated in the tent, and also if it's raining but there's no high winds. I'm going to be using an OEX trail tarp, I think it is, or it could be Expedition Tarp. I will get back to you on that. It's the one that's shaped like a pentacle, and I'm going to be using like a bivvy pole as well, a tarp pole. So I want to see myself what that looks like as well. So that's what my tent setup's going to be like today. So when I've got that up, I'll get back to you. As you can see behind me, I've put up the tarp. It's an OEX Expedition Tarp. Now be careful when you buy these, and the reason I say that is because the website, since back as far as last year, says 4,000 millimeters hydrostatic head, but on the label when I bought it, it said made in China, 2,000 millimeters. Now I brought this to the attention of a sales assistant in Go Outdoors in Swansea last year, and they agreed with me that there's obviously some query over that. Nobody's got back to me, and the website is still saying 4,000 millimeters hydrostatic head, and I think they're retailing, I don't know, off the top of my head, about 40 quid, so it's not cheap. So you know, just buyer beware. Right, when it came with orange guidelines, which are about 1.5–2 millimeters in diameter. I've changed them. I've put green 3 millimeter paracord, so they're not so high vis. Took a bit of time to put up. I think I made the guidelines a little bit too long, so I need to take, I don't know, 1/2 meter off each of them. I also changed the cleats as well, so they got new cleats on them. So I'll just show you now. It's not to give the tent extra waterproofing, although it will help. But you know, and heavy rain is forecast apparently overnight. But it's more for like some shade, some additional shade, or to sit out underneath the tarp on this stool or a small chair in the vestibule. So yeah, obviously you can see it's quite a lot of guidelines, but I'm on my own here, so you know there's nobody else around. If there is any wildlife walking through the this little bit of a woodland tonight, obviously you may walk into the guidelines. So as you can see, it's a nice little canopy. I didn't know whether to have it quite far back or, you know, a little bit more forward. So that may be a work in progress. So, you know, I've got a little bit of a overhang at the back if there is any heavy rain. I've just walked you around the tent, shown you the tarp setup. You know, everybody's gonna have a different opinion on that. Like I said, it's more for perhaps shade or sitting outside the tent on a stool or a small chair if it's raining. Right, I've been buying tent pegs. I bought tent pegs for tarps. Just wanted to say I've got them from Vampire, and they do two different types. They do like your standard peg, and then they do these 6-inch twisty torsion pegs. They're 70-75 aluminium alloy, so they're quite, you know, they're quite strong and robust. I use stuff like this, especially if I'm putting a tent on soft wooded areas like such as this, where the ground is quite a little bit softer due to rotting foliage or a lot of moisture in the, you know, especially this time of year now. We're still in April and we're still getting a lot of rain. Or, you know, moorland where, you know, you might get peaty areas. So that's what I use these for. But I've put them on the tarp now, perhaps to give the tarp a little bit more security if a little bit of a breeze picks up tonight. No, I ordered some more. I ordered 6, and then I ordered another 6 next week. And as a result of ordering a repeat order, they threw in an extra peg. So Vampire, thank you very much for that. It's much appreciated. And they're, I do believe they're a British company as well. So thank you very much for that. It's much appreciated. So that's your shout out. Okay, right guys, you can take from this review what you want. And somebody may be in the market at the minute to buying a new tent or getting another tent. Hopefully it's been beneficial, but you know, it's up to the individual. I'm happy with it, and this concludes the review. So thank you very much for watching, guys, and now I'm gonna make my other video, which I intended to do, of today's wild camp. So tune in for that on another video. Thank you very much. Take care. Bye.